me mad. The polls make me mad every year. They don't make any sense. Do we want to raise the buy-in? We can use
polls?
Wait, are we trying to on the league page? Well, every year it makes no sense. It needs to be modified. Who writes these polls?
Joey does.
Joey, the little gnome under the people's beds.
The guy who wins the league last year, who has.
Well, Brian wrote the last one.
Well, because Brian won the league last year.
And hey, I as much of a pain in the ass as that was, and it was, thank you, Nick. I was able to get the buy-in raised and able to get that little weekly payout feature added on in, which everybody seemed to like. So I am very, very proud of the changes that were made.
Very appreciative of that.
Okay.
That son of a fucking bitch. I can't. How many did he win? I think he won like 5.
4, I think.
4? Jesus, that would take
going back to that extra work that you put in, now it's all jarbled and doesn't make any sense. Do we want to raise the buy-in? We can use the extra for higher payouts for weekly highest points. What if we just want to raise the buy-in and we want to keep the payouts the same? But then that's not an option.
No. So you could I would say.
I don't know.
So how can I veto that vote? I don't want to vote for any of these.
You just put up a comment. You put up a comment about it. You say, I think there should be.
Polls suck.
Yes, that should be the title of the post.
Well, I think most of the conversation already happened in the text group. I don't even think these polls is even relevant at this point because we already talked about it.
I think right now we have 4 people going for 100, 4 people going for 75, and a couple others that haven't put in.
A couple swing votes? Yeah.
Yeah, is that kind of where we're at? I'm okay for 100. I think everybody here on this conversation is okay for 100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I voted for 100. I think we have 600 if you switch, Brian, because I think you were
no.
5.
I put out 75 when 100 wasn't even an option. Remember? Because originally it was 65 or 75. And I said, I'm down for 75. And then somebody said 100, and I said, I'm down for 100.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm definitely down for raising the buy-in because I know you make the buy-in bigger, then the purses get bigger, and the payouts can get bigger, so all of a sudden everything becomes much more interesting.
I like the $10 a week though. I think that's good. I think higher payouts at the end would be better.
Well, how about this, Nick? Well, what if this? But you still feel that payouts should stretch throughout the playoffs, right?
I mean, yeah, it would be better that way, but I don't think that way is going to happen.
I don't think
that's where Joey wins. That's where he gets he picks up players after nobody. Let's look at it. After all the players drop out, after half the teams drop out.
He also picks up players that I don't think anybody else would be picking. I would not have started Blake Bortles. No fucking way would I have started Blake Bortles you have to give Joey a little bit of credit, right? Like that championship win, like he put together a fucking random lineup.
Did you start the recording yet?
Oh yeah, we're recording.
How long have we been recording?
Since Nick started talking about the polls, I thought that was just too juicy to not have in here.
Well, there you go. All right, Joe, here you go. The season hasn't even started. We haven't even had our draft. Nick's already got something to bitch at you about. So
yeah, it's interesting how Nick is generally the the contrarian, if you will,
the antagonist.
The antagonist of. Hey, how about this thing? I know everyone's having a tough time agreeing on just a couple things. How about I throw something completely new in there and make it even more confusing?
That's what I like.
And then you start talking about, we're talking about buy-ins, and then you start talking about like league settings, and like, dude, Nick, that's not even up for a vote. Like, that's not even up for a discussion.
Well, it damn well should be. I mean, these are the things I have to look at every week. And if it's down to the .7532, it's like, dude, I didn't come here for math. I came here to fucking kick ass.
When's that going to start?
Week 1. Usually does, after I pick up Aaron Rodgers.
And usually tails off in the second half of the season.
Pretty much after he goes down with a head injury.
Yeah, no matter what quarterback you draft, that guy's going down in like week 5.
That's why I'm going to double dip on the quarterbacks really early this year.
First round and second round, both quarterbacks. Got to have a stud backup.
Yep.
I could go either way on the decimals. Like, I kind of like it in the ESPN leagues. The Yahoo leagues that I've played in, just to make sure there's no ties. But I mean,
I like ties.
I don't really care either way.
I like sharing. I'm a people person.
So you like sharing your money with us every year?
It's like going to a picnic and there's like 3 chicken McNuggets and then only one person gets 2 and the other person gets 1. That's fucked up. Why don't you just cut it in half?
Well, because a tie will keep you in it, and a tie may actually even take you to the championship game and allow you to win it, which is exactly what happened last year with Joey.
That's true. Didn't him and Phil tie one week?
Yes, and his tie kept him in 6th place.
Yeah, that's a big tie right there.
So there you go, Nick. You want your reason why we get rid of it? Why we get rid of ties? There you go.
Because they've only helped Joey so far.
I don't know. I mean, he seemed pretty pissed about that tie when we spoke to him, so I can't tell if he's for it.
We should ask him about the tie after the fact that he won and see what he thinks about it then.
He'll probably still be pissed about it.
Sure he will. Ugh.
But yeah, we were looking back right before we started the podcast, looking back at the standings from last year, and it's just crazy. I was telling Nick that Misha had the best record in the league, regular season record at 9-4. I mean, that's a pretty good record. But then second place was only 7-6. Like, that is not a good record to be in second place, I think, than, compared to what we usually see. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, let's take a look at we don't have a week-to-week, do we? Can we look at week-to-week?
I don't know if we can look at week-to-week in an old league, at least not that I've been able to see. I can only see standings, and then you can go to scoreboard, and, you can click, each week individually, but...
Yeah, I thought they used to actually have there used to be some place where you could actually see the entire season.
Just go to the scoreboard.
But that's just week, 1 week at a time.
Oh yeah. You want to look at the wins, losses, wins per your thing.
I guess I was just kind of curious, to see how. I guess we would have to click on each person's individual season to see how they're week to week.
Kind of a lot to go into.
What else are we gonna do?
Well, I mean, I guess we could do that, but break down each team's season individually.
I don't think we have to. No. I don't think we have to break down each team's season, but I don't remember what the fuck. Oh, wait. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Yeah. Okay, so you need to get to the correct year. So you need to do that thing you said. So you go to league.
There.
Yeah.
So then go to my team and go to schedule.
Okay, there we go.
And here we can just switch. If you see team schedules on the top right, you can go to all. That's what I want.
Oh, damn, that's sick. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, cool.
Dude, learn something new every day.
Okay, so starting off, all right, I don't know if everybody remembers their teams. I kind of remember a little bit of my team. I remember I had Todd Gurley. He was fucking awesome. I picked up Carson Wentz off waivers. He was awesome. The big surprise that I had was Thielen. And I can't really remember much else about. I think I had AJ Green, and he was slightly disappointing. And I can check this. What do you remember about your team, Nick?
From the beginning, is that what you're asking me?
Just from a quick overview of the whole season. Anything you can remember. I can't remember much other than those particular players got me into the championship, and I lost to Joey, and I lost Carson Wentz waiting in the playoffs. That's it. That's how I feel about my season.
Oh my God, I got PSD from my season.
PTSD.
You mean PTSD?
PTSD, dudes. I had the biggest highs and the biggest lows. I'm looking at it right now, and it's just a fantasy fantasy bait or whatever, and then all my people go down.
Okay.
Losing my quarterbacks, and my quarterback in the playoffs was my biggest downfall.
So let's talk about it. So I definitely remember, obviously, Deshaun Watson was a huge blow for you and just the NFL last year, but since you lost him, what was the other quarterback situation?
Well, I had Aaron Rodgers, and I was winning a bunch. And then I made the trade with Chris, Le'Veon Bell, for Watson. Won a couple games, and then Watson went down. And then I needed a quarterback for the playoffs, and I played McCown, and he got me -3.
Oh, that's right.
And I lost to Joey by a point, I think, or something like that.
No. If you had started... like you lost by like 3 or something. So if you had started like somebody who didn't even play who got a goose egg, you would have actually like at least tied.
Yeah, if you didn't even play a quarterback at all, like I think you still would have won.
I think that's what it is. It's like if you played anybody else but McCown.
Yeah, because I lost by 2.5.
Okay, there you go.
-3.
Dude, so I forgot about that. God, that's so fucking brutal. And to Joey too, it's just doubly worse.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. It's like Kappa Alpha back in our fraternity days getting the paddle.
Dude. Oh, my God.
You weren't even in a fraternity.
Please, sir, could I have another?
Parties.
I went to some parties.
And what happened at those parties, Nick? Did it sound like you got paddled a bit?
Dude, I think you're going to the wrong frat parties, bro.
Yeah, I love these frat parties. My ass takes a beating.
Oh.
Okay, I remember that whole quarterback. Yeah, your season definitely got fucked by quarterbacks.
Yeah,
that's why I'm double dipping early this year. Everybody, watch out! Put your hand over your quarterback.
See, now this is the great thing about this podcast too, is because it's days before the draft, and you're already throwing out your fucking draft strategy.
Well, okay,
with that being said, everybody's everybody give a tip.
I want you two to throw in like some kind of strategy that you have going into the draft, because
here's my strategy: let the draft come to me.
I agree with that strategy.
The most just generic, vague strategy.
Well,
damn it,
dude! I don't know. I can't even get into the draft yet.
It's hard to know what my strategy is going to be when I don't even know what order I'm in. Too, like if I'm 10 and I'm picking back to back, I'm gonna have a different strategy than if I'm, the fourth pick or something like that. Probably, at least for the first couple rounds.
I guess I would say with anybody, I don't know. Your strategy depends on quite a few things. Just like Sean said, depends on where you're drafting. That's going to determine kind of, the angle that you're going to go at. Just like you said, Nick, you think about what's happened to you in the past and, the places that you've gotten bit, and that, okay, I'm going to make it so that that's not going to happen again. That's going to be like an angle. I think you take all those things into play. And just like Sean said as well, you let it kind of come to you. Like, obviously, ESPN's throwing out their lists all the time, and so we have a preset order, so to speak, that's already, like, right there for us. But dude, if everybody ends up drafting, sorry, Derek, Jason Witten in the fucking first round, that's going to play. Maybe you didn't think you'd get number 1 overall because Jason Witten, went first. Like, I don't know, dude. You certainly let it play to you, and wherever you're sitting, you take a look and see what's available, and you make a reach, or you take what's looks best. You do whatever you want to do.
I'm just throwing this out there. I don't necessarily want this, but what do you guys think about where you finish in the race as where you draft next year?
So I don't like that.
And you just snake that, so Joey would go 10 instead of 1.
No, I don't like that at all.
Okay, I wasn't necessarily for that.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that before, actually.
There are some. I have seen some places that do shit like that. I heard about some teams that did shit like that. It was just like, I like the randomness of it.
The thing about that I wouldn't like, if we knew we were going to do that, like if I'm in, I don't know, 9th place and there's a week or 2 left, I'm going to try and sabotage my record so I can ensure that I get the first pick last year.
Exactly, because first, I would say.
What if you toggled it a bit? Like say say, you're in
How?
a battle between 9 and 10, but you have to win that match
No,
to get first pick.
No, that's
Well, because then the
that's-
schedule might not allow for that also.
Yeah, dude, I feel like now you're making too many crazy workarounds and making it way too complex and complicated.
That's true. It is kind of complicated.
Keeping it random is the easiest. It doesn't even matter. Like, we just show up on draft day and we go yes or we go fuck. And
I would be really curious to just be a fly on the wall and look at in Nick's league, if Nick could just do whatever he wanted, pure setup for his own league with all his own settings. I wonder what that would look like. I probably wouldn't want to play in that league, but I want to know what that would look like.
I don't know. Well, he did technically. I mean, if we're going through draft or fantasy history, was that first year.
But
this
I don't know.
None of us, Nick's little brainchild.
A lot of us didn't really know much about fantasy at that time, so it might look a
never
lot
played
different
fantasy
now.
football. I think John definitely, I felt, was pretty goddamn experienced when he came on in
and Joey
to play. Joey was, yep. He for sure knew a lot and definitely had played before. No idea about Misha, Jimmy, Phil. Okay. So let's get to our original. Derek was an original member as well, right? Who are the OGs of the league, so to speak? That's been here from the beginning.
Most people are.
It's everybody but Chris. That's kind of
no. Jimmy was in year 2, right? Was he in year 1?
I can't really remember the difference in year 1 and 2.
No, I think he was there.
So Jimmy might have been there. I remember Jimmy winning with fucking that one year that Gronk had that ridiculous. Phil
was Sean Sweeney in our league that first year?
Mm-hmm. He was in it for a couple years.
Well,
he was
at least one. I remember. And
at least 2. No, he was in it for at least 2. Because
really?
He drafted Cedric. Yeah, just like I said about Cedric Benson. He drafted Cedric Benson multiple years. Because I remember him always having Cedric Benson.
Oh, okay.
But
it's hard to remember all that far back.
Well, there have been a couple people that one dude Brandon was in the league for a couple
years. Brandon Hyman was in it at least 1 year. There was kind of
two years.
Well, for a while there was kind of that 10th person. It was kind of a revolving door.
Yes,
I remember,
it was that
Kevin Correnti was in it 1 year. He was Chainsaw something or other was his team name.
Well, that does kind of
I had to fucking text him and be like, dude, can you please set your lineup? The game start in 10 minutes. And then we kicked him out after that.
Yeah, dude, going all the way back to 2014, Brandon Hyman is there.
And then I think didn't Chris come in after that?
Chris came in the very next year, 2015.
So
Chris has been a mainstay for 3 years now.
Yes.
So I would say he's set and good to go. I don't see him going anytime soon.
I don't know. I'm still kind of feeling him out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Which leads to the conversation of maybe we should have keepers.
I wouldn't. That would be an interesting, but I don't know if that would be this league. I mean, we could technically do 2 leagues with the same people. Just have one be a dynasty league or a keeper.
No, that's too much of the same people.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with these.
I mean, it would be kind
of
of feeling out, pulling the rest of the league and seeing if they were up for something like that. And we could always, if people are maybe curious about it, you could start it slow, or maybe we start out this year we just keep 2 people, nothing too crazy, and then work up to a full keeper league. But I don't know. I've never done a keeper league before, so I don't even know what that's like.
You know what we should do? We should have Chris on, because his league, the one he runs with all of his buddies from his old work, they've been doing a keeper type of league where I think it's 2 players every year that they keep. And wherever you drafted those players, the year previous, you forfeit that draft spot.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that makes sense.
So if you drafted Le'Veon Bell number 1 and you want to keep him, that means that, the first pick of the draft is actually going to be whoever's at.
You better hope that you got a stud somehow in a late round, or off waivers that you're going to keep, so you can get your your draft picks.
Yeah,
for the
I
next
think
year.
it's one of those things where it's like you have to know it's a for sure thing that you're keeping. You are keeping a player that is going to either be, like you're going to keep a Le'Veon, or you're going to keep
or like
a,
an Alvin Kamara for this year. Like
Yeah.
people who maybe picked him up way late like that. That's a nice
exactly.
keeper.
Exactly, because you don't have
And
to
you get all your picks.
And
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
where that's where I believe the strategy really kind of comes into play. So, that's something we could definitely look into. It could just be, I think I would even be okay if, Joey won this last year and he said, hey, you guys, I want to make this a keeper league for 2018 or 2019 or whatever it is. That's something I feel would be part of the, hey, you're the league, you're the fucking, whatever, league manager this year, so you get to make your rules.
Yeah, I mean, usually usually the league manager doesn't change things up that much, but I mean, Jesus, the way we have it, like they can pretty much do whatever they want.
I guess that's true. I mean, we did start with defensive players the very first year, so we've changed quite a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's something that people might want to talk about too. That would be interesting.
Yeah, be curious to see how everyone feels about that.
I like how that we started talking about the past season, but we actually only mentioned our team names, and then we just left the conversation. We're just like, you know what? You guys want to know about your season? No, we don't care about your season. Your guys' season doesn't matter. It's just the three of us talking.
Well, it's more. I think it's honestly more interesting than us going back. Wait, what did happen? Hold on, let me pull up the stats and look into it, and then it's just
I have no idea. I just can't remember at all. My fucking memory is absolutely shot when it comes to last year. Sean, what happened with you? Do you remember at all?
I mean, I think my team was pretty middle of the road for most of the season. I was always in the contention playoff picture, but I mean, I think I was the top scorer 2 weeks. My quarterback was Drew Brees, so I didn't really have any quarterback issues. I remember I had Alvin Kamara really early on in the season before he was doing anything, and I think I wanted to pick somebody else up from waivers, so I dropped him, and then obviously that was a mistake because a few weeks later, then he turned into something big. So I remember being pretty pissed about that.
Right.
I remember a couple good pickups that I got, like Robert Woods on the Rams was a really nice pickup, and then that dude Robbie Anderson from the Jets turned out to be really
dude,
good.
I remember that.
So what do you think about those guys this year? Do you like those guys?
Yeah,
or?
I like them still. I mean, Robert Woods, same situation. I mean, they're both in the same team, same situations as last year, same quarterback. So I would think that they're probably should be pretty good still. They're going to obviously be drafted high compared to last year. I don't think people were really looking much at them during the drafts.
Dude, it looked like it's a giant fucking roadblock. So it was just a big fucking dogfight last year for everything. All of our points for are pretty goddamn close. So you're right. Misha was just at the top, just sailing away, having a good time. Sean, you ended up in third. Nick, you ended up in fourth. Joey ended up in fifth, it looks like. And Derek was sixth. He got into the playoffs at 6 and 7.
So Derek, okay, so that's interesting. I kind of remember some of this. So there was four teams at 6 and 7. I don't think Chris was really in it, honestly, because his points were so. It was the
points for that
Jimmy,
he was really hurting
New
on.
Team Hoodis, John Zeke the Sneak, and Derek Carr Ramrod. I think they were all in contention for that last spot, and then Derek got in the last week.
Yeah, edged it. Yeah, damn, dude. And what happened to everybody in the actual playoffs? All right, so Sean, let's see. You played Derek and you won. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I barely remember that.
Nick, here it is. Here's the negative.
I was in San Diego that weekend. I remember.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
we
were in a pizza place, and fucking you were watching the TV with your head in your hands, oh my god.
Oh yeah, because Brian, you had a
I was like, get up,
yeah.
get up.
Yes, I did. I had to buy that.
Down.
Yeah, and he would like stand up and then he would get back down. And you're just like, no, get up.
Yeah.
God,
well, man, the crazy thing, obviously Chris didn't make the playoffs, but Jesus, if he did, he scored 177.5 points that week. Like, he would have crushed everybody. He must have been
I do remember that.
bitter about that.
What was that? Oh, it was Ben Roethlisberger, LaShawn McCoy, Le'Veon Bell, and Michael Thomas, Hunter Henry, and Leonard Fournette. Like, Jesus, yeah. All those guys were above 20.
Oh, yeah, Chris
Some
had that. He had that
30.
three-headed monster for running back, so we kept talking about.
Yeah. Le'Veon, LaShawn McCoy, and Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking solid. God damn it.
All right, so that was week 1. So Derek got eliminated, and then Nick got eliminated. And then week 2... Oh yeah, this was Brian. This was me and you. We had we didn't get a podcast championship again, like
yes, that's
before,
right, because we
got
had
the podcast semifinals.
Semifinals, yes, and that's right. And Todd Gurley.
Wow, did you? I remember this one got away from me very early on. Todd Gurley, fucking 43.5 points. Dear Lord.
Right. And yeah, I would say everybody else kind of showed up when they needed. Like, wow, fucking, I started. Oh, he wasn't on. Yeah, Case Keenum.
Yeah.
I can't believe I started Case Keenum, but that's right because I didn't have Wentz. He went down in my bye week.
Down, yeah, in your bye week too. Lucky for you.
Lucky for me, but that wasn't fun to watch. I was just like, you've got to be shitting me. Oh, and then of course, what happened on the other side?
That was a close one.
Yeah, let's see.
Misha and Joey.
Yeah, they were going back and forth.
Joey, Kareem Hunt was the guy. Oh, and then Robbie Gould. Jesus Christ.
Wow, 24 points. Oh, my God.
Wow,
Jeez.
Yeah. Misha just had a couple dud, like his Cooper Kupp and Doug Baldwin just put up some shit days.
Yeah, Mike Davis didn't do much either.
Wow, look at Joey. He had a 0 from Marquise Lee and just a half
0.5
point from Jimmy Graham, and he still was able to win with that. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's but I mean, dude, look, I mean, Misha must have been so pissed. Like between those Carolina fucking players, 38 and 22.
Yeah,
like that's Jesus, that's a lot. Oh man, that's heartbreaker. Shit. Well, and then that's it, and then it's the
championships. Was this one pretty close at all, or was it really looking just Joey's?
No, I
had most of the time?
I had everybody, like not everybody, but a lot of people on my team that should have come through didn't come through. Thielen fucking sucked. Drake sucked. Evan Ingram sucked. Devontae Freeman sucked.
I mean,
fucking
if it wasn't for Todd Gurley going for 45, like it wouldn't.
I wouldn't have been. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have even been close. Like so, no, it didn't. Yeah, the championship did not go well.
Joey's just crushing it over here with Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. Oh my God.
And then C.J. Anderson, like I mean.
Yeah, and let's see how was C.J. Anderson even doing?
Not too good. I mean,
he wasn't doing like for the longest stretch of the season, and then all of a sudden for the week of at least fantasy playoffs, the week before, he just went off for like 2 games. The 2 games that Joey needed him for. Perfect.
Yeah.
I won. God, dude. Yeah, this is brutal. And for a lot of people, I think Phil did not have. I think Phil had a really, really tough season. If I remember looking at the schedule.
Yeah, he was definitely the outlier because he had a
lot of people who didn't pan out.
He had what's his name, the receiver on the Packers, Jordy
Jordy?
Nelson, who he drafted pretty high and like just should have taken out of his lineup, but he just kept putting him in there because it's Jordy Nelson, and he just kept putting up shit week after shit week with that.
It's dude, 2.
Yeah, let's see, Jordy Nelson. Oh my God, oh, Jesus, that's just terrible.
Dude, yeah, that is man. I think he.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough year for Jordy Nelson. Oh my God. That's because Rodgers was down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Once Rodgers went down, that was Jordy's value tanked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a horrible year if you're expecting Jordy Nelson to be your number one, and that's what he gives you. He finished as the 46th ranked wide receiver.
Yep, that hurts.
That really hurts. Yeah, Jesus.
So Phil's definitely looking for some big time redemption, because I know he was none too pleased about finishing in the basement, because I know he's pretty competitive and he wants to be in there.
And the funny thing is I know Chris is super fucking pissed about the way his year went too. But at the same time, I feel like we've discussed it. Like, he went 3-1 at the beginning of the year, and then he went on his month-long vacation to fucking Italy, and he lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row.
Holy shit!
And then he finished the season 3-1.
Damn, so that's fucking crazy. I didn't even know it was just isolated to his Italy vacation.
It is. It's like that entire period, that whole losing streak, he was in Italy the whole time. Wow. Or wherever, Italy and Greece. I know they went to a couple places, but so that's, I would say, a pretty big explanation of his season. So I told him, like, if he bitches about it again, he's just not allowed to go on vacation. Like, dude, don't go on vacation, and you might not lose, because when you were home, you did really well.
There's a correlation, like a reverse correlation between how much fun you have during the football season and how well your fantasy team does. So the more fun you're having in your life, the worse your fantasy team's going to be. I
would say that's a a very true statement. I don't know. What about you, Nick? You don't feel the same way? You can go play fantasy anywhere?
I mean, I finished in the middle, so I guess I had middle life fun.
Nick, you definitely seem to get pretty I don't know if frustrated is the right word, but pretty emotional throughout the fantasy season. I don't know, when your team's not doing well, there's a lot of chatter about the frustrations.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of chatter when his team is doing well. There's just a lot of chatter from this gentleman. Kind of.
Yeah, I just like to chatter. I'm a chatterbox.
Yes, he does. He's a chatterbox.
He's just a chatterbug. Chatterbox.
That's a chatterbox bugs. We said chatter a lot.
Well, thankfully,
say chatter again.
You know what I did because of all that built up frustration? I made an Excel sheet of all my frustrations. So each year now I can refer to it and be like, "Ooh, that one frustrated me a lot."
So give us a little sampling, like
give us one obscure sample.
What's on the Excel sheet from last year? Like a little taste.
Let me pull it up here.
Okay.
I want to give you a good one instead of just one off the top of my head.
Coming next, we'll be doing Jimmy's team, but we got to hear this Nick frustration.
It might take a second for me to pull it up. So if you
all right, we'll look at Jimmy's team really quick. So Jimmy, what happened with yours? Because I mean, there's this.
Good. He beat me in the first week. I remember.
Yeah, we had this, like, obviously Phil, who had a tough season, but then you have this big giant block of people at 6 and 7, and so I just don't remember what happened.
Started 2-0, so he was feeling pretty nice. Oh wow, look at this though. He started 2-0, 131, 136, and then all of a sudden 66, 44. Like, the points just dropped off so significantly.
Yeah, he went all the way up to 2 and 5. He was 2-0, and then basically lost 5 straight.
Yeah, lost. Oh yeah, I remember he was on that crazy losing streak.
And then he kind of got it back. He got up to 4 and 5, and then 4 and 6, 4 and 7, 5, 7, 6 and 7, and that's how he finished the season. Yeah, finished it with a win. Nick, he fucking took it to you the last week of the season.
Jimmy. Crushed you, 156 to 103.
Oh, he got the
look at that. Yeah, dude. Jamal Williams, Antonio Brown, Tyreek Hill, and Nelson Aguilar just said hello.
He stole Nelson from me. That was my guy.
Nelson Aguilar?
Yeah. He unleashed him on me.
And he had Tyreek Hill, and this was where he got from the trade with Joey, right?
They did do that trade.
What did Joey get? I can't remember.
I think he got a running back.
Was it? No, it wasn't Kareem Hunt, was it? They didn't do on the same. Did they do
No,
on the same
it
team?
wasn't Hunt.
I don't know.
Wait, was it the same team?
I thought no. Joey had
Alex Smith. It was like a 4-person
Oh,
trade because
yeah.
they both like got a person.
I definitely think Alex Smith was a part of it, and then I don't know. Can we even look at trade history?
So I think Jimmy
I
got
don't think
Alex
so.
Smith.
Well, yeah. Here we go. Transaction log. Okay.
Or Jimmy had Alex Smith. Either way, that was a part of it.
I don't like how ESPN cuts off the bench now.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Why would they
What's up with
get rid of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was. Oh, here it is. Amari Cooper and Matt Ryan for Tyreek Hill.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because Joey had, Jesus, what's his name? The receiver on the Atlanta.
Julio?
Yeah, Julio. So that's why he wanted Matt Ryan.
Who's a big disappointment.
Yeah, definitely.
Man.
Big drop
Dude.
off from the year before.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Wide receivers look interesting this year.
Who would you rather have this year, Julio or Josh Gordon?
I mean, I would probably say the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Julio?
Yeah.
But Josh Gordon is interesting. It's like interesting as far as taking a flyer. I don't know, interesting as like taking as like a 3rd or 4th round pick, which is where I feel Julio's probably going to go.
Julio will go way earlier than that.
I don't know, dude. I think there's more interesting butter at the top than Julio. Especially after how he and Matt Ryan did last year.
Yeah,
True.
We shall see. Now we know how Brian feels about Julio.
Well,
Yeah,
dude,
Brian.
see. I don't even know where ESPN... We can maybe end this with like maybe taking a quick look at ESPN's rankings before our draft. But
They have Julio as number 2, Brian.
as the number 2, who they have above him?
Antonio?
Who they have below him?
Hopkins?
Julio? Oh, Hopkins.
Okay, there you go. Who would you rather have, Hopkins or Julio Jones?
Hopkins, not close.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. It's not even close. Like I totally would go for Hopkins. Like
I think Julio's just been so much more consistent year in, year out. Whereas Hopkins like has had a shit year and then a great year, and he's kind of a little less predictable.
This is what I have to say about Hopkins. He has been, I would say, not consistent, like you're saying, right? Not like
not
like
Julio
kind of
consistent.
Yeah, not Julio consistent. But at the same time, he has been productive for
he had
wideout.
one bad year. The year that I fucking drafted him as my first round pick, like number 6 overall or something, he was pretty bad that year, 2 years ago.
Well, I was just gonna say he's been relatively productive and has now gotten to like the 3rd most valuable wideout with, for the most part, dog shit quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, now with Deshaun Watson.
Exactly, dude. Now with Deshaun
but when
Watson
went down too, I can't believe he was still so productive.
That's what I'm doing. It's because his talent, he is that talented. So I would put
Definitely
him above Julio for sure.
That's a tough one for me. I don't know who I would. I'd be a coin toss almost for me.
I hope you get the 8th pick and you have to choose.
Maybe I'll take fucking, I don't know, Melvin Gordon or Saquon Barkley. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know about these fucking rookie. Dude, if I have to pick a Saquon Barkley, I am going with that one name again, and I'm putting that GIF back up. From Major League. I've never heard of half these guys.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley? Like, who are these fucking guys? Yeah.
That's true.
Like, dude, that's I'm going back to that if I have to get Barkley. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Well, Joey's again got the target on his back.
Every year, even if Joey didn't win, Joey would still have the target on his back.
Yeah. Well, I would say Brian, I mean, to a much different extent. Like, you've been in the finals a couple years in a row, and you've been pretty consistent, I feel like, with your performances. So I feel like you may have like a little target on your back. It's just a guy that's done really well that, keeps taking money from other people.
Brian, are you the LeBron James of this year? You just get to the finals and lose.
Yeah, maybe you're the LeBron James.
Just get to the finals and lose.
Yes,
LeBron went to, LeBron went to a few finals and won too. So
you won one.
So far, I've won one, and
you did for Cleveland.
I did for San Diego, the only championship we're gonna get.
And I would say, what, Joey's probably like Kevin Durant, just sold his soul for the championship.
Sold his soul. I don't know. Joey sold something. I think we're all pretty convinced that Joey's got some fucking like dirty little fucking secret, like sacrificing virgins up on like a hill in the fucking, harvest moon or something like that. But
when I dormed with him, he did leave every night around 12:30.
There it is. That was the start of it, right?
Dude,
there.
Lauren, we might need to recruit her and see if I don't know. Maybe we can get her to like get some sort of evidence of this.
No,
like,
she's right in on it too. She's.
You think she's also like sacrificing?
Joey,
fucking
wake up! You have to
bunnies.
You have to make your weekly sacrifice.
Exactly. Don't forget. Here you go. Here's your fucking scythe.
We need this money. We need to buy another Nintendo Wii.
Joey has a Wii.
I just remember when me and Nick lived together in college. This was before I even played fantasy football, but he won whatever league he was in, and I remember he bought a Nintendo Wii with the money. That's all I remember.
That's true. He did do that.
So wait, is that the same Wii, Nick, that you got all fucked up and was hitting the golf ball but not hitting the golf ball,
yep.
And then you got mad and threw the controller and locked yourself in your room?
That's the one.
That's the one. Okay, so Joey was playing all the way back in like 2000.
That must have been
2005
or something like
2005, 2006. Yeah,
something like
a while ago. So he's been So Joey has some experience. He has been places before.
Yeah, but you know what Joey doesn't have?
What does Joey not have?
He doesn't have an Excel sheet called
Life.
What's
on the Excel sheet?
With a tab called Fantasy Football.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, we have to get into some other Nick frustrations. I'd be interested to hear those. All right, let's go.
So you want one? I'll just give you one tidbit. I have about 7 that I took away with me, but I'll give you just one because I can't let this Joker League know all my secrets.
Oh, is that what this is?
This is like Nick's Dear Diary situation.
Yeah. Dear Diary, like September 17th. It did not go well for me. That fucker went down, and I can't believe it.
All right. So yeah, I could give you that one. I do have one of the stat ones, but I'm not going to give you that one.
Just give us, yeah, come on, something.
Okay, I'll give you a legit one. 2 RBs can be better than 1 on a high-scoring offense than 1 main RB on a bad offense. Pretty standard.
That's a frustration, or is that just like a
frustration.
Nickism?
I had Crowell, and that was frustrating.
Oh.
Wait. So say it again, because I need to understand this more.
It's pretty obvious. It's a pretty obvious.
Well,
because are you talking about
if you're using
Freeman and Tevin Coleman, like can be more valuable, or is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Then a main RB
on a crappy team.
On a crappier team, yeah. Say
like a Carlos Hyde or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Say like.
And you're talking about as a single running back, like he doesn't share the backfield.
Right.
Okay.
Like just because he gets all the touches doesn't make him more valuable than somebody who splits carries on a better team or a better offense.
On a better offense.
Yes, yeah. I can accept that.
All right. Can you accept this one? Roster 2 QBs. Even if I draft an elite one, pay attention to rising QBs. Edit. This is highly league specific. In my case, I play with a bunch of QB hoarders.
I fucking love that one. It's almost like we're like we're watching the movie Memento, and these are like Nick's sticky notes that he left for himself yesterday.
He has pictures of every single one of us with some fucking little note like written under it. This is Brian. Turns it over. Do not trust a single thing he says. He will fucking kill you in fantasy football.
Pretty much. I just need some pictures to this Excel sheet.
So that's what this whole emoji thing is about. It's all starting to make sense. Nick he's trying to fucking find some way to get our fucking pictures, our likeness, so he can be like, this motherfucker. He's going to have like targets of us on the game week and just be like throwing darts at our faces. Like, I'm going to get you this fucking week, motherfucker.
And that's the voodoo initiative that Joey got me into.
So maybe that's what Joey's secret is? Do you think? He has pictures of all of us hidden up somewhere in his little fucking fantasy like shrine, and he makes sacrifices. He goes like, Brian, you're gonna have the worst fucking week come championship week. Cuts a bunny's head off. I don't know why I'm obsessed with cutting bunny's heads off right now. Sean, you remember that song? Oh my god. From the band that you got sick from? Remember we went to the show, the Between the Buried and Me show?
Yeah. Horse the Band.
Horse the Band, that one song that they have about
that
killing
bunny song.
The squash the fucking bunnies. Oh my god. All right, guys, we're going way off topic. I know there are a few people we haven't really talked about.
I think instead of just going over some random shit from last year, let me ask both of you guys, Brian, what are you looking forward to most for this upcoming season? When you think of fantasy football this year, what gets you excited?
Winning is what gets me excited.
Okay. That's can't really argue with that. Pretty direct to the point.
Dude, losing is the worst feeling ever. Every time you lose, and I'm sure everybody shares this fucking feeling, when you lose, you feel like fucking shit. You are fucking pissed. You need shit to go right. I mean, come on, Nick. I know you share this sentiment that you are fucking so angry anytime your fantasy does not go the way you want.
That's true, but I mean, I would think someone from San Diego would get used to the feeling a little bit.
Ooh, well, dude, I'm not going to say that my sports teams have not fucking been shitty. Everybody San Diego is that fair weather fan, and we've had some fair weather teams, some fucking dog shit teams. But the only difference between fantasy and all that is I've had no control over those teams. I have all the control over my team, and I determine my own destiny and whether or not I will be the next fantasy champion. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen for you, Nick?
Yeah, Nick, what are you looking forward to with this new fantasy season?
That's a good question. Honestly, I just like waking up early, drinking beer, and scoring touchdowns.
Dude, that's a pretty fucking sick answer, I have to say.
Yeah, I look forward to that
Sorry, go ahead.
Like every Saturday night, before bed, me and Tina are in bed, and I'm like, I can't sleep. And she's like, babe, go to bed. And I'm just like, I can't sleep. I'm just so excited. It's like Christmas once a week.
That's like those, I don't know if you guys have seen those internet memes where it's like a picture of a couple in bed, like facing the other way, and the caption for the girl is like her all paranoid, like, is he thinking about another girl? And then the guy is just thinking about something totally unrelated, like, I wonder how the Ravens are going to do tomorrow, like nothing to do with like thinking about another girl. I feel like that's Nick and Tina right there.
It's pretty much like I wake up at 3 a.m. to pick up all the people, and I'm just looking at dudes, on my phone.
Yeah, Nick doesn't
Joke's
wake
on
up
her,
at 3 a.m. to
dudes.
Yeah, exactly. Say that a couple times.
I'm just looking forward to drafting next week and just having a fresh squad to kind of get familiar with. And I feel like it's, before week one, the world is your oyster. You have nothing but high hopes and optimism, and the fantasy season hasn't beaten you down yet to reality. I really enjoy that lead up to week one when you already have your team.
That's a good point. I agree with that. Like, the draft is a fun experience, having your team and being, what is that term? the roster baiting.
Yeah,
like when you look at your team, you're just like,
God,
oh
so
my
good.
God.
I can't believe that they let these people fall to me.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking no. I can't even remember what that one guy Ruxin was talking about. Like what the players like such and such in the 10th. Oh my God.
That's so true. I feel like every year I always walk away from the draft and I'm like, man, like, wow, this is a better team than I expected to have. And then like the season never goes the way I expect it to.
No, exactly. The season starts and you go 0-2 and you're just like, well, fuck. I guess the team I thought I had was shit.
Exactly.
Jesus. Yeah.
Well, shit. I mean, we got what, a week?
Not
a
even
week and a day. Well, I guess by the time this gets released, it'll be a week away from our draft.
I guess too. Yeah, like days away.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Fuck yeah, dude! Can't wait to see what order we get. I've never been first pick. Brian, have you ever been first pick?
Never in this league.
Nick, have you been? You've been first pick once, right?
Yeah, I think I've been a couple of times.
Oh man, yeah. I hope Derek doesn't get first pick. I feel like he's gotten it multiple times.
Derek definitely.
I pick right before Derek. I loved picking right before Derek.
Why? Just so you can like snake somebody away from him?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of understand the Derek.
Because you know he's going to try and pick Aaron Rodgers and you actually want him.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
he can't pick Witten this year, so I'm sure he'll be bummed.
He'll be looking for him. Hey, guys, is Witten showing up on your app?
I don't see him on mine. Sorry, bro. Dude.
Yep. All right. Well, shit. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty decent note to end on. Some excitement for the season and drafts coming up. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say.
Oh, I haven't really even looked. Has anybody actually looked at like the draft order or what the mock drafts are saying?
Oh, you mean ADPs?
Yeah. What are the ADPs right now?
I mean, it's nothing too crazy. It's like kind of the guys you'd expect, running back heavy. I think like one of the new guys is that guy Saquon Barkley is a top 10 overall pick for sure. Is at least
they're
average draft.
Okay,
placement.
Looking at 300 PPR rankings, they've got. Oh my God, is anybody trust going David Johnson this year? Is anybody else worried about David Johnson?
I don't know if there's any real reason to be concerned. I mean, people come back from injuries all the time.
Who's their quarterback?
They have Case Keenum now, I think, don't they? Or no?
No.
It's what's his name? The guy who always gets injured, isn't it?
No, he's
Bradford.
Is it Bradford?
Oh, is it Bradford?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's Bradford, dude.
Is it?
It's Bradford, yeah.
Wow.
And then their receiving core, I mean, they have Larry Fitz, but then a bunch of no-name guys, Christian Kirk, Bryce Butler, Chad Williams, like who the fuck are any of those guys?
Jesus.
But yeah, Bradford's back in there. See how long it takes before he shatters something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so maybe David okay. That's interesting. They got Kamara in there. Julio's number 8. Hopkins. Wow, dude. Wide receivers are a few. Yeah, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, yeah. Okay. Any surprises anywhere? Any players jumping out at you don't think should be there?
I mean, I honestly haven't really looked that far. What's Keenan Allen ranked at?
13.
He's like fourth wide receiver off the board, I think.
Yeah, it's a wide receiver 5, yeah, right now.
The way he played last year, because I had him last year, and he was definitely pretty good, especially a target monster.
Dude, they got Dalvin Cook at running back number 8. Over Fournette.
Yeah, I mean, he had that nasty injury last year, but he was tearing it up before then.
Yeah. I think they have him over Fournette because the Vikings offense is going to be like better this year.
That's true than the Jags defense or offense.
Yeah.
Wow, poor LaShawn McCoy has dropped all the way down to 13.
Let's not talk about him.
Yeah, is that sore subject for you?
No, that's a diamond in the rough right there.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Tripped over fucking some of Nick's dirty little secrets. What else didn't you read to us in that fucking diary of yours? Your diary Excel sheet?
Brian is a ... Yeah,
for the most part, you're right. Well, I guess we can all be excited about the draft and getting ready for our teams. As far as what we're doing for the podcast this year, Sean, when do we think we want to try to get another one on out? Probably sometime just after we get the draft out.
We got the draft next Thursday, and that's still a week before the regular season starts. So I think it'd be sweet to do another podcast before week 1.
Is it next Thursday? Or is it's next Wednesday, right?
Oh, sorry, next Wednesday. So even still, well, yeah. So there's at least a week after the draft until the first game actually starts. So it would be. I've always wanted to do like a draft recap podcast, and I don't know, we never do one for some reason, but I'd love to get one podcast in again before the actual games officially start.
Well, we could try. I don't know if same night would be realistic, but maybe we'll have an entire week to get it in. So I think we could probably find a time in between. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I would say that would be the next one to shoot for. We could do a little draft recap and maybe take a peek at the week 1 matchups and start making some predictions.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, dude, that's right. Everybody will have the team set. We can start talking about all that.
We can, maybe throw some board bets out there, or make some predictions on, whose team we think might be the strongest, or just, it's kind of fun to do stuff like that when it is literally just based on drafting and not any performances, just throwing shit out there.
I love every time that we do something like that, like we call somebody a dark horse. Like I feel like we called Jimmy and
we were calling Chris a big dark horse last
year. Yeah, Chris and Jimmy, we call them dark horses, and they go on big losing streaks.
Yeah, but they had some massive.
Or John was a dark horse, maybe. I can't remember.
John was tearing people apart for a while.
Yeah, dude, that's where he got all those wins with the highest score.
Exactly.
God damn it! I think it was me, Chris, and Nick that never won any week. Did you win a week, Sean? Didn't you?
I won 2.
Okay, so you got. Fuck you. Jesus.
Dude, you got second place. You got more money than I did.
All right, yeah. I guess when it comes down to it, it is.
I'll trade you my 2 wins for your fucking second place.
I spent it all. And, I don't even remember what at this point. It wasn't the big grand glory, and if we can get the buy-in up to $100, which we probably should.
I think nail that down, man. I mean, my soapbox on that is: look, everybody's been in the league for over 5 years. Sometimes some people even, this is the 9th year. We're obviously all dedicated. We like playing against each other. We all take it pretty seriously. I mean, just throw 25 more bucks in there. We can either have a little bit more fun with some bonus payouts during the season, or just pay bigger in the
end.
Yeah,
exactly. Either way, I think would be fun. So. That's something I think everybody should consider. And I know, Nick, you said you had something that you wanted to talk about, didn't you?
I did.
No, didn't you? Or if you don't want.
I could talk about emojis right now. I want you guys to send get your Bitmoji from Chrome and send it to me so that I can make a T-shirt with all our Bitmojis on it for fantasy football. Just this shirt. Even go to shirtsbylurch.com right now and buy a T-shirt if you want.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Wait.
So let me get this. Let me just see if I understand this. So we go to Bitmoji. We make a Bitmoji if we don't already have one.
No. All you got to do is you go to Chrome. You Chrome and you go to the extension list and you download the Bitmoji app.
Yeah.
Mostly everyone already has.
Yeah, I already have one, but if you don't, so you gotta make one. Either way, you gotta do a little something there. Send it to you.
And then
you're gonna
just email it to me.
You're gonna make some sort of a shirt, and then what happens with the shirt?
So I'm gonna make a shirt that says fantasy football, whatever the league name, Killa Cali, 2018, with all of us our Bitmojis on it.
And then what happens from there?
Huh?
Then what happens?
Yeah, and then what happens next?
I don't know. It's going to be a shirt to either.
Are we supposed to?
I'm going to have it.
Are you going to give us shirts or?
Yeah, that's the question. Are you actually going to give us shirts?
I do have to pay for these shirts.
Jesus Christ.
That is still up for.
Oh my God! So all right. So let me get this straight, just so I'm clear. So I have to, since I don't have a fucking iPhone or I don't do anything with fucking whatever it's called.
You don't have a Bitmoji?
I don't know what the fuck that is. No, I don't have a Bitmoji. So I've got to do all this fucking effort, and I got to create this. I got to download some extension, sign up for some account. I got to create some fucking thing, and I got to send it to you. But then I don't get a shirt. I actually have to buy it.
You gotta buy it too. So you gotta make it, and you have to buy it.
You're not making it. You already have a bit. You should already have a Bitmoji to send.
Wait. Why should I already have a Bitmoji?
Because most people have Bitmojis, but if you don't, that's
so Nick,
okay
if most people jumped off a bridge, that means that's what you should be doing too.
Dude, it's 2018.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna get.
You don't have to send me your.
Everybody's
Bitmoji.
Following the fucking Pokemon off the bridge. Like there's there's a Pokemon, rare Pokemon right there. Let's get it.
I'm gonna have like a head with a question mark, and that's gonna represent you, just like someone who isn't unlocked yet, and that's gonna be you on the shirt.
That's
here's
right.
Another question: have you sort of polled everybody in the league to see what the demand would look like for a shirt like this, or are you about to dump like $100 or more into making all these shirts, and then what if people don't want to buy them?
No. So it's a dropship model, so I don't have to pay for anything. It's like if it gets ordered, it gets ordered. So okay. I can submit. Yeah, I can submit. So it could just look like, a Bitmoji of Nick with 9 question marks.
I would buy that shirt. I would much rather have that one. Can I submit my order now for that shirt? I'll pay you $10.
So yeah, it could look like that. I mean, who knows? Hopefully that will entice some people for the next year.
All right. Well, we'll see how everybody reacts to that. But
I'd like
to see just what the mock-up looks like before it's actually on a real shirt.
Exactly. So here's the thing. So with Bitmoji, you can search what kind of image you want. So you could be like somebody catching a football or like someone on the toilet. I don't care what you pick. And then also I'll put that image on the shirt, and that will represent you.
Can I have me wearing a baseball uniform?
Yeah, you can have no pants. I don't really care.
I just want people to look at that shirt and say, fantasy football, why is that guy wearing a baseball uniform?
Yeah, and then I'm going to put it up on shirtsbylurch.com, and then, if other people, you can tell your parents, like, hey, you want to get our league shirt, give it to somebody for Christmas.
I'm on your website right now. Is that Angelique?
Yeah, it's pretty. It needs to be upgraded, but this is the start of it.
Oh, there's a little picture of you on that too.
Yeah.
Is that Angelique?
No.
Doesn't it? It looks like it though on this website.
That's a stock photo.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm moving it all around, but this is going to be the format basically, and then I'm going to add as I go here.
All right.
But, I mean, it works now. Like, you can buy the Shirts by Lurch kickoff shirt if you want.
Done. Double
Sweet.
XL.
I wore it to one of Phil's concerts where he does the radio show.
Yeah.
And he noticed it. It was pretty sweet.
Nice.
Shout out to you, Phil. You're the best, as always.
Phil he's good at noticing things.
Yeah, he's a good noticer.
All right, well, I guess that's instructions to everybody. Yeah, make your Bitmoji and send it over, and we'll see what happens.
Fork over your money.
And then, make sure you get your wallets out.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good
note to end on right there.
Yep.
All right, well, shit, it's happening, guys. The league fucking drafting next week. Shit's getting real. Strap yourself in.
Yeah.